me. You can't catch me on the run, cause I'm gone, yeah. I blaze trails, set fire to what's behind me. No, I'm never looking back, I'm on the run. I could only ever be what I'm made to be. It feels good when I'm living on the edge. Watch me now, roll like thunder, gonna sacred ground. Can't stop me now, I don't give up and I won't back down. I'm a force of nature, can't be contained. I got lightning running all through my veins. Watch me now, watch me now.
Hi, I'm Wyatt Milam. I'm from Canova, West Virginia. When I'm back home, you'll find me at my local Par-Mar store.
We have that gold and blue pride at your local Par-Mar store. We are coming to your neighborhood soon. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, we have you covered. Download the Par-Mar app and sign up for the Par-Mar rewards card. Food, gas, groceries, and more. We are gold and blue proud, and we are Par-Mar stores.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Law offices of Mark Plants and Kevin Davis. First line of defense. Buzzballs, ready-to-drink cocktails. Number one single-serve premix brand in the U.S. Buzzballs, have a ball. Yes, and that's right. Have a ball. And it sure was a ball. Still soaking up that backyard brawl win, that Pitt Panther win. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. We're digging it. What's up, Wolfman? Well, what's up, Kelly McCord? How you doing, buddy? Yep, good to have you. Jump on right here now. And, oh, my goodness, all good things going on, all great things. Hey, we got some big announcements coming up here in the WolfMan's call. But the first one definitely is we're going to have to go ahead and get into the WolfMan's Call channel. That's right. We are moving this right here up here to the WolfMan's Call channel. Yeah, it's some cool stuff, man. Right there. You see it. YouTube channel at Wolfley64. All right. Hey, the Voice of College Football, we're moving from that. Love it. We're going to be compatible with them. Still going to be work with them, but it's time for myself to go to the YouTube channel of Wolfley64. Subscribe, sign up. We have the WolfMan's Call Network is all attached to the YouTube channel. So go ahead, man. It's really cool. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, and we're on YouTube here at Wolfley64. We're also on YouTube at 3 Wolves of Football, and that's just at 3 Wolves. So again, making the move. It's good stuff, man. Really fired up and excited to go ahead and be able to do this. And we thank the Voice of College Football and all that Mark Rogers and stuff. Good people, man. Joey, yeah, we'll be seeing you down the road, brother. But with that being said, now I have my first guest, and we got an exciting guest today because I looked at his mystery, and the first guest is going to be Dale Sparks. There's no mystery there. He is all pro photography and frames, and he's got the Dale Sparks collection. He's the dude when it comes to WVU sports. You know it. So we're going to have that. And then after Dale, we're going to go out. We're going to bring in Zach Johnston, the quarterback. Remember that? Or Chad Johnston, excuse me. All right, and Zach Abraham. I got that mixed up. There you go. So you got Chad and Zach. Remember that backyard brawl there, the quarterback to Zach Abraham to throw the backyard brawl at Pitt. Yeah, man, that was good stuff. Good stuff. So we're going to be here at 4:20, but let's go ahead and let's get the Sparks man on because he's got a big event going. What's going on, Dale?
Hey, Wolfman. Well, everything's great, man.
It's Dale to Dale, all right? We'll do it that way.
2 Dales, no waiting.
Exactly, man. Well, hey, listen, it is great to have you on board. Haven't seen you since you did the Deuce McBride show there at Kegler's Clubhouse again. But before we get into it, what's your take on the backyard brawl? what pictures you got going on there, man? Because I know you got some good stuff. I saw it right after the game.
Oh, that was a great game. That was a great game. I mean, a typical backyard brawl. I knew we'd have the home crowd, there. We'd be the favorites with that. I just knew it was going to be electric, exciting, and it was everything I expected. And especially in the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter, between the third and the fourth, when they played Sweet Caroline.
Oh, well, I'm not going to make you repeat that, nor do I want to hear you sing
No.
that, all right, because that just would not be cool.
No, but it was a top 10 moment in Mountaineer football history as far as I was concerned.
Well, let's
At
get
Mountaineer Field.
Yeah, let's get into that because honestly, I said it yesterday on the show. I think yesterday was Monday, so that would probably be that day. But that was one of the best crowds I've seen in Mountaineer Field since, I go back 10 years minimum. It was really a crowd of crowds.
Oh, it was. There was 61,000 plus. What's the record? 66?
Oh, probably
So 70. No, 70, I think. But
that was Miami with 93, but we'd have all the suites there, so they overloaded it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but still 61,000 fans screaming. And it was just a great atmosphere. I'm telling you, it felt like the old Mountaineer football again.
Oh, that's the key. What I was thinking about, enjoying. I was just like, I got caught up in the emotion. I was so caught up that the Mountaineers were beating the Panthers that I really didn't look at the game in a critical eye. There was no critical eye. There's no stats. It was just we were beating the Pitt Panthers, and it was one of the coolest things going.
And the defense was phenomenal, didn't you think?
I did. I thought the defense was phenomenal. See, now here's the thing, Dale. If you would have watched my pregame breakdown, I would have showed film where that offensive line was seriously lacking, and they were forced to put a freshman in at the right guard. And that hurt them a little bit. I'm not taking anything away from our Mountaineers now because that's not what I'm doing. But I'm just telling you so I can promote through via you to everybody else. You better watch my pre-games because they're right on, man. They're spot on. But anyways, and we're talking about being spot on. How about this? Let's bring in here. You got Bruce Irvin coming this Friday from, 6 to 8 there at Kegler's Clubhouse.
Yes,
and
sir.
let's get this baby jacked up here so that we can go ahead and do it some justice, right?
Absolutely. Well, Bruce is going to be inducted Saturday into the West Virginia Sports Hall of Fame, and he deserves that greatly. So I called him and got in touch with him to say, hey, why don't we do an autograph session here the night before your induction? And he was all for it. So we're going to, here's an NFL great, played with the Seahawks, drafted by the Seahawks, played with the Raiders, went back to the Seahawks, has had a great career. And what a great career he had here. I mean, he was in beast mode all the time at WVU. He would put the fear of whatever in most of the quarterbacks. And then that's what I have. I have some of the greatest pictures of Bruce during that time period where he was just wreaking havoc in the Big East.
Sparks, man, I got to go ahead and put another feather in my cap. You want to answer that?
No.
Are you sure?
I got somebody here to answer.
All right, good deal. Well, listen, I got to put another feather in my cap and say everybody gives Lonnie Galloway all the credit for recruiting Bruce and stealing him from Arizona State. But I got to tell you, man, no, that was me. I was an influence of the right kind that day. And we got here at Bruce, and what, it paid off. And Lonnie did a great job of recruiting him. And Bruce coming here, because he was going to Arizona State.
Right.
And he did change paths, and that's so important. So, again, having to come in, you have those pictures. And what else do you have? I mean, you had Ulmer coming in last time I saw you with after the golf tournament. You had Ulmer coming in. You had all these Mountaineers coming in, doing their framing, man. And your framing is so cool. Jerry Lorenz did one of my jerseys up there at Kegler's, and they did a picture with it. And it was probably the coolest thing I've ever had someone do for me for football. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
be able to put that up. Go ahead and tell us about your framing, man.
Well, we've designed something that apparently no one else is doing anywhere in the United States, North America, or possibly even the world, according to our computerized mat cutter guru out in Utah, who travels the world installing these mat cutters. And we call it the custom photo mat, where we make a collage basically of the player and then do a cutout with the jersey, and it's the top mat, and it's just a collage of photos, and it's absolutely fantastic. Players love them, and we're doing them. I'm like a year or two behind on some jerseys because we have that many requests.
Oh,
So
really?
you
Okay.
know, you're going to see, if I'd have thought about it, I'd have had that ready for you and showed you a few pictures. But they're just crazy. They're just through the roof. We can't keep them we can't get them done fast enough. But
That's
it's a really cool collage that I create myself, and then all the techniques and stuff that go into it to create it on the mat cutter is a whole nother process.
there's nothing as special as that I've seen done like that. There's not anyone that does it better. I can guarantee you that. And I think with your artistic touch to it, I think that does add something, a little bit of a Picasso,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna say the Dale Sparks touch. All right, Dale. Well, listen, man, you've been around sports and WVU for a long time. All right, let's talk about Nicco. And you see, and you're at practice all the time. You're all over the place, but you know these guys. You travel with them. I traveled with you for years and
Yep.
years. And what do you see with Nicco? Do you think this guy's ready for this big game against Texas Tech?
Well, you know what? I think he proved himself there to come in off the bench. Not expecting. I mean, I don't know what the game plan was, but I would say he was not expecting to uh, come in so soon. And to me, he showed a lot of moxie, a lot of maturity, and he handled things and he got the job done. That's all that matters. I mean, you're in as quarterback, and your job is to go out there and play and win. And what did he do? He played and he won the game.
Yep. Let me ask you this. You got an eye now because you've seen so much and you are an artiste. So, what have you been seeing that you see about this team that you like when growing? Because you've been around a lot of teams and you know like, what I'm talking about, chemistry and other tangibles. That what is this team having right now?
I like this team's chemistry, and I think it's really starting to come together. The pit game has brought it all together, and I really think that this might be the springboard to
Hmm.
a lot more wins this season. I felt it at Penn State, and of course we knew that we were going to have well, we thought we'd have a relatively easy time with Duquesne. So the excitement for Duquesne wasn't quite as much as it would be for Pitt and Penn State. But man, this attitude, and these guys are fired up. They want to play, and they want to play for the state of West Virginia. I hear them say that in their on-field meetings when they're huddled and they're talking to each other and they're getting ready to break. They're going, let's do this for the state of West Virginia. We love these people. Let's win this for the state. So, they and West Virginia loves them back. That's the great part about it, because the people of West Virginia are just fantastic. And they're going out there and playing their hearts out. And anybody that thinks they're not, they're wrong, because they are out there playing their hearts out for the state of West Virginia, the people of West Virginia, and they love this area. Not seen anyone come to Morgantown and didn't like this area.
Hmm. Well, you would know because, like I said, you spend a lot of time
I
with
do.
traveling, working in and out, and actually getting them at their most probably public intimate moments, trying to capture those pictures you take, and a lot of them, first times they're all going ahead where attention's being focused on them. And again, it's so cool what you do, Dale. Appreciate everything you do. Let's go over it one more time former Mountaineer and former NFL Seahawks and Raiders, Bruce the Great One Irvin, getting introduced into the WVU Hall of Fame, right? This Friday, 6 o'clock at Kegler's Clubhouse, which is the bottom floor where Neal Brown has his radio show. Okay, is you go ahead and go in there. You can get photos, what, 25 to $100, or bring in an outside item for him to sign at $25 per item. Or you can go to the Dale Sparks collection, which I highly recommend you do. If you're going to make an investment, if you got that man cave or you got that Eddie cave, I don't know what cave anybody else has, but if you have that and you are looking for the right thing, Bruce Irvin, you can't go wrong. He's a great cat. It's a great story coming from where he's come from and seeing what he's done and making a living and doing the right things. Like, it's a great story. Come out and support him Friday night. And I believe it's the 30-year reunion, which I don't believe, a reunion at Kegler's. I think on Friday night where they're meeting at. So you could see a whole bunch of people there as well. Yeah. Right? I mean, you're talking about guys like, Couchner and Rob Suck and Timmy Brown and I mean, just Logan, I mean, it's Beasley. I mean, all these guys they're going to be there, and then you add Bruce on top of it. What a night, brother!
Oh, it's going to be crazy. Now, I brought a couple of examples of the pictures. Oh, we're going to have a Bruce here.
Well, wait a second, I got to have to blow you up now.
You got to blow me up. Okay.
Blow you up. I don't mean that anyway poorly. All right.
So here we go. This is Bruce against Connecticut. We're the eyes of Bruce, where he is going after this quarterback, and he put the fear of God in a lot of quarterbacks in the Big East. So there's one we'll have for sale. This is the quintessential Bruce and those eyes. And then we've got, which is so funny, he gets drafted by the Seattle Seahawks, and who does he go and meet? Who's his quarterback? But none other than Russell Wilson, that he sacked in the bowl game against him.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, now that was oh my gosh, that was the bowl in Orlando. That was the bowl in Orlando.
It was against NC State.
Yes. And let me ask you this: do they get to take a picture with him as well?
Well, they can if they want. Yeah, we're not gonna necessarily charge for pictures, but they can stand there and get a quick picture with him.
Right.
Yeah.
If he's decided, right.
They can take a picture with me if they want.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Probably won't, but
50 cents for that.
And here's this. I think this is Bruce's biggest moment when we played Cincinnati, and he sacked Zach Collaros, and we ended up getting I forget if it was a touchdown. I think it was a touchdown out of this play because Zach fumbled the ball. We recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown. We beat Cincinnati. But he actually broke Collaros' ankle on this play, and he saved our season with this one play.
I remember.
And literally saved the Mountaineer season. We went on to the BCS Bowl and won that one. I mean, we're 3-0 in BCS Bowls. That's pretty darn good.
We sure are, buddy. Well, buddy, Dale Sparks. Well, listen, Dale Sparks Collection. Dale, thank you so much, man. I'm going to get you off because I think I got some other guys that are going to appreciate. You're going to appreciate seeing them. And let me see. Let me just see if I can't get him out here. Is he on there? Zach. Hello, Zach. Are you on?
Hey there, Dale.
Hey, Zach.
Well, which Dale are you talking to now?
There's two Zach. There's two Dale. One Zach.
There's one that's really artistic, and there's one really that's cool. All right, you make the judgment. All right, Zach Abraham, how you doing?
Good. How you, Wolf?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Doing good. I got another person here that I want you to see. The two mystery Mountaineer guests here today, and this guy looks like to be like he threw you a ball or two, and that's a football I'm talking about. Hey, Chad Johnson, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Wolf? How are you?
Good. You see Sparks Man here?
I do. I see Dale. How are you doing?
Oh, you guys look great. Looks like you can still play.
I'm sort of like that Toby Keith song, I'm as good once as I ever was, possibly. So that's not saying a whole lot either.
Well, I'm still shooting, so you guys should still be playing.
Yeah, but your shooting is not quite as active.
Probably not.
I
No.
would say this, that watching Chad's Snapchats, I would say that he's a pretty good golfer. He golfs a lot. He gets out there.
I do get out there. That doesn't mean I'm good, Wolf. You know what that means. I only remember the good shots.
No, I hear you there, man. Very cool. Well, hey, Sparks, man, we got the big event coming up. Hey, are you two coming in this weekend or are you not?
Yeah, I'm coming in this weekend. I'm coming in this weekend. Yeah.
What about you, Chad?
You know, I have tickets for the whole season, except I have tickets to a Co-Wetzel concert in Charleston Saturday night. So I'm not going to be in Morgantown.
So I guess that's a definite no then.
He's bailing.
I look forward to seeing Zach Friday night at Kegler.
That's right.
Maybe, huh?
Yeah, I might be down there Friday. Yeah.
All right, come see us.
Well, you better be. All right, Sparks, man, get out of here. We appreciate
All right, I'm out.
you, brother. All right, God bless.
All right. Thanks,
See you, Dale.
guys.
All right.
Thank you. See you, Dale.
All right. Well, hey, man, you got Bruce Irvin getting into the Hall of Fame there this year. Big deal. Dale Sparks is having the big collection signing for Bruce Irvin, and he'll be there Friday night, 6 to 8. Again, get your Bruce Irvin, and then go ahead and get Zach Abraham's signature. You know why? Because you can, man. Because you're going to be there, and then Chad he'll write one in for you. I mean, he's easy to get a hold of. The only West Virginia flag that I ever saw in Blacksburg, all right, that was up there. How do people not just like hate you and everything? Business down there. I mean, it was like, how do you thrive as a business?
It's one of those things that there's just there's a big need in that area for that type of work I do. So they overlook that anyway.
So they overlook it. But only because I need you will I go ahead and overlook it. Because I know you're a proud Mountaineer and you display it down there, as I said. So very cool, good fellas. So what's happening, man? What you guys doing? Zach, I'm gonna go with you first. Where are you at now?
Sure, I'm back in my hometown, Triadelphia, a little outside of Wheeling. I just say Wheeling, but I'm there. I've been raising my family and have 3 kids, and one's our oldest, 22. Our middle one's a freshman at WVU. She's studying business, and our youngest one's a sophomore in high school. So I'm in back there. I have my own business. We do HR services and recruitment and payroll for small companies, small organizations that have a dedicated HR professional. So we've been helping companies all over the place, lots of many states, but housed right here in West Virginia. So we're proud about that.
Oh, very good. And of course, Chad, tell us what you're doing down there in Badland.
Yeah, I'm a dermatologist. I've been down here in the Blacksburg area since 2009. So I've been down here for about 14 years. And we have offices in Blacksburg. We got a small office in Giles County, which borders 2 West Virginia counties. So I see a lot of West Virginia patients from the Princeton Bluefield area in that office. And then we've expanded over into the Roanoke area as well.
Oh, expansion. All right. Very cool. Well, listen, I got to tell you guys a story. I don't know if you would remember this, but until your throw, Chad, and Zach, your reception at the pit in the backyard brawl, and I think it was 1994, I was a coach and I was running the punt team. Well, one guy got hurt. I'm not going to go through this. One guy got hurt, and I replaced him with the second guy. Apparently, I didn't tell everybody except for the one guy to replace it. And Pitt ran the ball back for a touchdown. And I thought, oh, my gosh. And here's Coach Neal. And he's pulling on my ear. He's pulling my ear and ripping on me. And I'm going, oh, my gosh. I am dying here, just dying. My career as a coach, everything is over. I was in the tanker. I blew the Pitt WVU backyard brawl, the victory, and then lo and behold, you two went out there and did what? You made the throw, and you made the catch, man, and you saved my can.
Well, Wolf, I don't know if you know this or not, and this is an untold story, but in the huddle, I was over there, and I looked at Zach, and I said, Zach, we got to save Wolf's ass here. He blew it.
I remember that.
We actually said there'd be free beers involved, but I don't know if you've ever, anytime we're in Morgantown, I don't know if that has been cashed in yet by either one of us.
Well, you know what? I would have bought you more than that, my friends. That was one of my biggest moments, and it really wasn't because you guys won the game, except it was because my butt was saved. So again, that was really cool, and I think that was the game where it said, "Hey, there's a tractor on the parking lot, West Virginia license plate, EIO," and I'll never forget. And Coach Neal was laughing, and he heard it because you don't usually hear things with the headphones on, and he did hear that, and apparently the guy got canned for a while. I mean, I think he came back for his job, but that's kind of serious. I mean, you're from Wheeling area up there. Well, what's the deal with that, man? They take that all serious.
Oh yeah, well, it's funny because my kids play a little bit of they play hockey up in Pittsburgh, and one of the funny things is, I'm always in spats with all these pit people up there, and so now I can go into my practices. Now I can go to my son's practices and say, you know what, I don't know what you guys did this time around, but we won, so now we can hold our head up high at least for another year. So.
That's for sure. Now, I don't know what you did, but you turned off your video. Maybe you wanted to.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Yeah. Well, I just wondered what you were doing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
So here's the deal, man. All right. So honestly, you two, there you go. Chad, you're down there in Blacksburg, and Zach, you're up there, really the Pittsburgh area, right outside the Pittsburgh area. Chad, you got the two wins, Virginia Tech, man. That was a big deal the last couple of years.
Yeah, obviously, we got us some bragging rights. I was in FedEx Field last time whenever we lost to them up there a few years ago. But I made a promise to myself I was not going to go to any more Virginia Tech, West Virginia games because I get too angry depending on if it's a bad outcome. So I watched both those games from my house just so I did not, get after anybody out in the parking lot. I threatened to whip one of my friend's sons backside in the parking lot. He was about 8 or 9 years old talking trash to me after we lost that game at FedEx. So I felt like, you know what, I should probably just stay at home and change the channel if I have to.
Yeah, you know what? It's probably a good thing you didn't lose any patience either. or whip up on your patience, maybe.
Very true.
What about you, Zach? Let's talk about this weekend, man. Big game. Honestly, we lost last year, lost the bragging rights, lost everything, and where I really think that the Mountaineers gave that game away to Pitt in a lot of ways. Missed tackles, turnover there at the end for sure. What was it like for you to watch this game on Saturday night and having to spat with all these Pitt people all the time?
Well, I tell you, it was nice to see. Actually, Chad and I got a chance to catch up, which was great to see him. And we actually, Chad, I don't think you know this, but I actually got a chance to see Coach Neal at a different tailgate. He was cruising by with his golf cart, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Coach. Someone tapped me on the shoulder and said, that's Coach. I went over, and he knew exactly who I was. He looked good for, I don't know, was he 86, I think, or 87? He looked great.
It's my mom's age. He's right around there, yeah. January 1st, his birthday, January 1.
Yeah, that's right, because he would always have his birthday when we went to bowl games. So
yeah. But what's so what, man, you saw him. I was going to say, when you saw him zooming by, I knew it had to be in a vehicle of some sort. He's going to take a good old time now. But he does look fantastic, and he is as sharp as can be. I had him on a couple shows this past year. And honestly, guys, I'll tell you what, I've always had fun. I coached under him. He brought me up in a lot of ways in the coaching world. But, boy, he's got so much wisdom that's untapped right now, in my opinion. Chad, and what was it like being a quarterback for Coach Neal and learning? And, you had some great teammates. Again, you guys are part of the 11-0 undefeated team, and then you came out in 94, struggled early, because all those seniors had left, and you guys struggled early, but you came back and made a strong finish.
I often wonder with that team, if we would have started out playing Ball State instead of Nebraska, if we would have been, when you actually look at that schedule, would we have been undefeated rolled into Virginia Tech, and what the outcome would have been then. I think that game really messed with our psyche for a long time, I think. But we did turn it around. Coach Neal he's just a great person. He never yelled. He may have cursed one time the whole time that I played there. I may have heard him say one cuss word, and that was probably joking more than anything else. But he's just such a good person. I remember going up to practice one time whenever there was another coach. We won't name him now, but I took my boys to practice when I went back up to do my residency, and it was just a totally different atmosphere. And I had to take my boys home because they were young, and I was like, I can't let them see that this is what football practice is like. But Coach Neal was he was sort of like that grandfather figure, and that time or a father figure, and I live in Blacksburg. I know Coach Beamer. He's very much the same way, and it's no. That's definitely the reason why those guys are in the Hall of Fame, and their players love them, and the community loves both of them, and they're very similar, and they're very good friends, to my understanding as well.
Yeah, I think so, and Coach Beamer, I remember that boy. He was in trouble in Blacksburg for a few years, and they actually stood with him. And then all of a sudden it turned into Beamer ball. All of a sudden he knew how to coach when those few years before he did not, right? All right. So, honestly, when you look at the Zaxo, the Mountaineers, they're 2-1. They played Penn State. A lot of people say it wasn't too big for the moment for them. Two is they came out sluggish against Duquesne. Yes, I think that's an easy letdown to come after Penn State, because all summer long everybody was telling them, you guys are going to get killed. You're going to get killed by Penn State. And they went in and they fought hard, but they came back after the rain delay. Boom, exploded. Everything started clicking. And then now, Pitt game. Second series, man, starting quarterback goes down. And the defense stands up. The young pup gets up. The offensive line takes over. What are you seeing in this team, Zach?
Well, I'll tell you what, they had a lot of grit for sure. I mean, that Penn State game, when I was looking at that, I was hopefully optimistic, and they came out, and I was very impressed with how they hung in there. I mean, that Penn State team is a pretty good team. I mean, they have a lot of good athletes on both sides of the ball, and not that we don't, but it was just, I think we're a little young in some spots, and some of that played out. But I thought we were in the right positions and right plays. And like Chad said, I think that maybe that game was a little deflating. I think that's probably why they came out a little sluggish against Duquesne. But again, you're right, they snapped back. And Pitt, I thought the Pitt game was a little slow on both sides. Thankfully, it seemed like Pitt had a lot of the dropsies like we had last season. I mean, they had some drop balls at pivotal points in that game, and but the defense, I thought, rose to the occasion, which I thought was great, because I think sometimes a lot of people were knocking on our defense a little bit. So hopefully they can hold true in the rest of the season and get some of their injuries taken care of, and they can hold strong the rest of the season.
Yeah, you know what, Chad? Hey, Chad, you were at the game this past weekend, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you saw the atmosphere that was there. The student section was filled up for the entire game, practically, if not the whole game. And did it feel to you like it was old-time Mountaineer football?
Well, I was very fortunate. I was there in '93 when it was loud, and we beat Miami, and that, I don't think anything will ever mirror that atmosphere. But I was there in the early 2000s doing my residency when Pat White was playing, and we were winning all those games. So it was very similar to those atmospheres, especially. There's not as many people in the stadium as there was back in '93 with it, but it was, as far as how excited they were, how loud they were, it really reminded you of those times.
Zach, let me go back to you on this, because let's not forget about this '93 Miami, because we are talking a 30-year reunion, which the two of you were at. I was a graduate assistant coaching, and '88 I went through big year, right, the other undefeated team, and we had the stadium, just great memories. Then my brother Ronnie, '84 Penn State, '84 Boston College. I mean, I was just around for all the great games through that era. And when you sit here and you think about how West Virginia, with a freshman quarterback, a redshirt freshman quarterback, a defense that has been maligned, that went up there and stood up against this a Pitt team and won it at the most crucial moment. This helped this team in particularly the youngins, in believing that they can go on and not be the 14th worst team in the Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they had I thought they had a lot of grit, and I saw them just flying to the ball, and that's what you need. I mean, I reflect a lot on our '93 team, and Chad and I talked a little bit about it this past weekend. But that '93 team, we didn't have a lot of standout names. We didn't have a lot of, but what we had was we had a lot of great chemistry. We really played well together as a team because we really believed in one another, and I think that's what you see periodically in the teams that you have. But I mean, the chemistry, you can't take away from the chemistry of the team. And I think this team now has that same kind of, I think Coach Brown's got them to the point where, they kind of are feeling that a little bit, and they're playing for one another. And sometimes you lose that. Sometimes, and I wasn't quite sure with the portal and the nil money involved and all this kind of stuff. But I think if they can maintain that chemistry that they're building amongst the team members, and they stay consistent with that, I think they could have some good teams here coming up, but they got to continue to play for one another, or else it'll all fall apart. So,
yeah, Chad, if you could go ahead and take Nicco Marchiol, the freshman quarterback. Looks like Garrett Green is day to day, but I know he hasn't practiced yet this week already. You're entering Tuesday, or you haven't practiced on Wednesday. It looks like Nicco's going to get that start. And what are you going to tell this young man if that was you? Because, you played that position. You understand it. You understand the pressure of having to control the offense and making everything click. What are you telling him to make sure he's prepared, but it's not too big of a moment for him, that he's just cool and relaxed and just be a player?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, number one, you tell them you take what they give you. You don't have to make plays that aren't there. You check the ball down, pull it down. If you kick at the end of a possession, that's okay. And today's game, even if you're down 2 possessions to the 5-minute mark of the ball game, that's what you want to be. 2 possessions, score, stop, score to either tie or win. So I think that's the big thing. Just make sure you take care of the football. And one thing that Coach Simmerl used to tell me, my quarterback coach, he would always say, the only quarterback to never throw an interception is the one that never plays. So, you're going to make mistakes. You can't be afraid to make mistakes. And, just reflecting back on my time early in '94 is, I was kind of involved in a quarterback battle, and I tried to play so perfect all the time, whether it was practice or whatever. And I got benched for a little while. And I don't know if Zach remembers or not, but from that first practice on, after I was benched, I tried to make it as obvious as I could in practice every single day, every single throw, every single rep, that I was the guy that should be playing. And I would rip the ball every chance I got. So that's the biggest thing. Just, you can't be afraid to make a mistake, but you don't have to make every play. That's why there's 10 other guys out there. That's why there's 3 phases of the game. And, that's what makes this game so great, is that it's the ultimate team sport.
There's been some controversy the last few years not winning. Neal Brown, I think we're all very much aware of the problems that he's had. He's 24-26 right now overall at WVU. Zach, what are you thinking when you see this? Are you seeing this team springboard? They're playing hard for their coach. They played hard last year. Let's face it. It was they're 3-7. And they went in there and they went and beat Oklahoma State, and they beat Oklahoma. 2 of the last 3 games. Kansas State beat them in those last 3 games. But the team was playing hard at the end. What does that mean to you as a player, that you see these young bucks, these young brothers of yours, playing hard for their head coach?
Yeah, well, I think that's important. I mean, I did watch many of the games, if I didn't go to the games last year. And, it's all about effort. It's all about effort and how much heart you have. And, you could lay down and give up if you're down so many points, or you can keep fighting And I was pleased last year when I saw that they were fighting to the end. Even when the season was kind of out of touch, or it wasn't as well. I guess win-loss records, they weren't. It wasn't what they expected. And then this year, I saw some guys pick it up and really go after it. I mean, the one young man that played against Duquesne, Hudson, he had a heck of a game and got a scholarship after the game, I heard, and that was a will to win, and so everybody's got to step up. Like Chad said, there are 11 guys on the field. Everybody's got to step up at different points in time in the game, and it doesn't matter if it's the offense, the defense, the special teams, doesn't matter. But as long as they have that fight, that's really important to keep that moving. And as far as Coach Brown, I mean, I don't know Coach Brown really, other than I think I've been introduced to him one time, but he seems like a nice fella, and I think the kids really like him, and I think he's almost reminds me of Coach Neal a little bit. So I think everybody wants him to be successful because he's such a good guy, and hopefully that translates, and hopefully the team can kind of continue that process, and they can pick up some wins and get to a bowl this year. So,
Chad, have you noticed that he's gotten Neal Brown? I'm talking about. He's gotten a little bit tougher in his commentary, and his press conferences, talking more about. It was a physical camp because they had to open up a Penn State. It was physical, acknowledging that the DBs were not following through with their assignments the correct way, not paying attention to their keys. I mean, it seems to me like he's really like, okay, this is who we are. This is what we got. I'm good with this team, but I'm going to call him out now. I don't know if I ever saw that before. I always saw a little of a good spin going on, and I'm not sure right now he's spinning stuff except telling his guys we either win or we don't, and I think he knows what that means.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, let's just be honest. He's been here for 5 years, and I'm sure there's a little bit of desperation in what he's doing. He knows it's fan base has been on him, and the thing about it, as a coach, you're putting your livelihood in the hands of guys from 18 to 22 years old or 23 years old. And so, I mean, I've got boys that age or just past that age, they can't even decide what they want to do in 15 minutes. They change their mind. So you got to make them accountable for things. And I think that's probably some of it is that, he's giving them some accountability, and that transcends probably to himself. He's being more accountable for himself. And now he's, passing that on to his players.
I think you're right. And let me ask you this: you think if he wins 6 games, he's going to stay, Zach?
I think if they get bowl eligible, I think that there's a good shot that he sticks around. I look at a couple of things. I look at Dana, when Dana was there. I think maybe the talent was a little thin. When Dana left, and then you got the combination of the portal, you got combination of COVID, you got combination of the nil money. That's a lot of transitional components to deal with, especially when you're recruiting kids. And it's creating a lot of parity amongst the college the college ranks. But at the same time, you've got to move past some of that. So I think that's partially part of the problem here is that recruiting the right types of kids. I think he's getting some of those, but I don't think he's getting as many as we used to get back in the earlier years. So, and that whole complexity of the recruiting component has changed. And so I think there's a perfect storm in terms of his, I would say probably 4 out of his 5 years, it's been a perfect storm in terms of all these things you've got to adjust to. So, I think he'll be around if he gets 6 wins, and I hope so, because I think I do think he's a good fella, and I think from what I've seen he's a good coach. But it's sometimes it doesn't translate real well with the kids. Like Chad said, you're putting your livelihood in the hands of these 18 to 22-year-olds, and sometimes that can be very difficult. So,
well, that is the truth. And so, Chad, let me ask you this: when you put your hands in I think Nicco's 19 now. So now Nicco's 19, and he's like, hey, man, we got to see something. There's no doubt that Texas Tech is going to say, well, we got to stop that running game on offense, right? So what are they going to do? They're going to load up the box, and they're going to say, hey, Nicco, you're going to have to beat us throwing the ball if you're going to win. Am I right, or do you disagree?
No, 100%. That's what I would do. I mean, even if you watch Pitt the other night, I mean, the snap of the ball, there were 9 guys in the box. I mean, they were coming downhill hard, and from what I gather, they talked about some of the playbook was limited, and they at that point in time, so they didn't do some of the things they needed to do. But it's one of those things. You're going to. I think really the success of this team is going to be whether we can throw the football or not. I mean, to hold in modern day football, to hold a team to 6 points, and to hold Penn State, as talented as they are, to 21 points at the end of the third quarter. I mean, I think our defense as long as they can stay healthy, is doing pretty well. I mean, you can see them. They rotated, 2 different D lines in there, which is amazing to do. I don't know if we could ever do that at West Virginia in the past. So that I think that's there. So I think we're going to have to throw the football, and do we have the wide receiver room to do that, and do we have the quarterback to complete it? I don't know. If they take away the number 1 receiver, can these guys go through a progression? I think that's the big thing. That's what people are going to do. They're going to make us throw it, and it'll make those guys go through different reads, and we hopefully we can do that.
Okay, we're here with Chad Johnston, quarterback, and Zach Abraham, wide receiver. It's funny, Zach. I talked to you and talk about the game, and you mentioned Clement, who the receiver that got the scholarship. And, you guys always talk about your own position. If it was me, I'd be talking about Zach Frazier, the offensive center, who's an All-American, because it's funny how you all go back to your positioning. But when you look at this, Zach, all right, so Texas Tech, they come in, they played Oregon tough. They lost by 8 points to Oregon. They barely lost to Wyoming in overtime, which I think will be tough up there. You could be up there tough. What does this team have to do to win on Saturday, to go to 3-1 and be legit?
Well, I think they need to go in there with confidence. First of all, they need to go in there with confidence. I think they got a game plan well. I agree with Chad on the offensive side of the ball. We've got to be prepared to mix and match a little bit more. Our running game is one of our strengths, but at the end of the day, they're going to stop that. They're going to stop on the strengths. And let's be honest, the Big 12, they've got some big kids in the Big 12. I mean, defensive line and the linebackers are thick. They're fast, and you got to make sure you have a balanced approach. So I think they go in there confidently, and I think if our DBs can hold strong, I really haven't watched Texas Tech too much of their offense, but usually they can sling the ball around a little bit. And if our defensive backs can hold tough and play good defense, I think give our secondary a chance. I think our front line and our linebackers can do some good things. So I think I'm pretty confident about this game. They're going to be itching for a win, especially at home. And, they're 0-2, and I think they're going to be wanting to make sure that they get a win. So, but I think if we're confident, I think we'll be okay.
Chad, is this game a victory? Let's say a victory. Does this launch this team to doing something that maybe no one expected at all, except for maybe them?
I mean, I think so. I mean, it could, if you start talking about how that 93 team did, the talent, and Zach and I had this conversation over the weekend in 92, arguably one of the most talented teams we ever had at West Virginia. You had Compton that was All-American, played in the NFLs, has a couple Super Bowl rings. You have Adrian Morrell, he rushed for over 1,000 yards with the Jets. The defense was, we had lots of talent, but just no breaks. That team went 5-4-2, and then the next year, we come back. I don't know if we had any guys drafted off that team, but they go 11-0, and so sometimes you just make your own luck. And that team did it, and hopefully this team can as well. And that's by playing assignment football, taking care of your job, and as Coach Stewart would say, don't bail out on your brother. Make sure you have his back. And so I think you have to do that. In the Big 12, just because there's so many points scored, the offenses are so good. We've got to play. We got to hold on to the football, and we got to take it away a couple times.
All right. Let me just finish off with the Mountaineers on this with you guys, and let's just talk about what made that 93 team win every single game. Because remember, Boston College sure didn't look like it with 2 minutes left in the game, and to go 11-0 again. It's not even so much, and of course it's always talent, of course it's always playing together, but there's got to be a mental attitude there to be able to overcome all obstacles in an 11-game season, as it was 11 back then. Zach, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go back to it again. I think it's just a lot of it's chemistry. I mean, I don't know about Chad, but quarterback room, it seemed like they were all gelled together. How could you not be with Kelchner and Studstill and those guys? They're all, chatting it up around a little bit. But we had a great receiving core. I mean, I don't know. And the one thing that I remember about that team is we could do any formation. We could do 3 wides. We could do double set. We could do double tights. And offensively, I'm saying we could run lots of schemes defensively too. But I mean, everybody had a role to play, and we executed. And I think it was because we believed. I mean, we believed we could win. We believed we were good. It was about having that confidence and going in there. And a couple of those last couple of games, we just won by 3 points. I mean, or a point. I think of 14-13, 14-13. I think is what the score was, if I'm not mistaken, or 17-14, whatever it was. But we really, I mean, that Boston College game, there probably shouldn't have been a chance we won. But again, luck sometimes plays a part in that, as Chad indicated. And we got that fumble back, and we got the touchdown pass in the end zone to Ed Hill, and that was it. And so, but I think a lot of it has to do with chemistry, and a lot of it has to do with guys that just find a will to win. I mean, that's really what I think happened that season.
What about you, Chad?
I think Zach is exactly right. I mean, the chemistry of that team, especially when you have 2 guys that play quarterback, most of the time when you say that you have 2 guys playing quarterback means you don't have one. And especially those 2 guys, very strong personalities. You could have had a split, but everyone was behind the 2 of them. And at different times, they both made great plays. At the end of the game, Jake had, I think, a bum hamstring. And heard it maybe against Miami, and he didn't play as much against BC, and so Stud takes over and just takes us right down the field at the end of the ball game, and just incredible play after incredible. You had a youngster, Mike Logan, who was in my class, as a freshman, is the one that steps in and strips the ball to get that fumble, and then gets the recovery anyway, and then you have a guy like Ed Hill at the end who didn't probably have as many big plays as Bake or as Jay Kearney throughout that year. No, Jay was the year before, but as Bake was, and Ed just comes up with a huge catch at the end of the game. Stud gives him a chance, puts it back shoulder, great throw, and probably an unsung hero is Nate Ryan, who really, I bet he caught 2 balls all year, catches a big, I think a 4th down conversion on a route right over the ball. And he hadn't caught 2 passes all year, and just you had all kinds of guys stepping up throughout the season, and so it was definitely, that game was huge and not giving up.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you what, guys. I really love having you on. Thank you for this. You brought back great memories, but you also brought a lot of knowledge in there from your experience, and that's what this show is about. Is bringing you guys on and coming on and doing this. So, hey, if I call you back, we got to come back on later in the season.
Absolutely,
100%. Hey, Wolf, can I do one thing?
Yes.
Now, there's 6 of us that talk every day by text, and we give each other a hard time. It's not really we talk. We text each other. We give each other a hard time. I was on a podcast with Tony and them last year, and they all gave me hell that I didn't mention them and give them a shout out during this, because we all get together on the Jersey Shore at Brian Buchanan's house in August and hang out for a weekend, just have a guys' weekend. But it's me, it's Buchanan, Landahl, Dunnigan, Tanner Russell, and John Conte. So, guys, you can't say I didn't give you a shout out this time.
You know what? And you're hanging out with some linemen now. I mean,
that's exactly right. I'm the only skill guy there.
Number one, you're smart. And number 2, though, but you're going to get the least amount of beers.
Well, don't underestimate my ability to put a few down.
No, I see that Snapchat. I know. All right. Hey, Zach Arab, Chad Johnston, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you guys. Timothy Green. Yeah, thanks for all the great memories, and we mean that, because there's just so many. 11-0, but then even more so, I'm telling you, man, the Pitt, Johnston, the Arab throw, Thank you, God. Save me, baby. Save me. All right, guys. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Let's go Mountaineers.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Wolf.
Wolf. Yep,
All right,
see you,
see you,
Chad.
Zach. See you. Thanks.
Yep, see you guys.
Oh, so cool, man. So cool. I'm telling you know what? Oh God, I'm fired up. I want to go out. I want to go do a vertical right down the field, man. And I get out there. It'll only take me 10 seconds to run 60 yards down the field, and it'll all be good stuff. What cool. Chad Johnston, man, Zach Abraham, two fantastic Mountaineers. One is living up there, Philadelphia, right there, Wheeling, right dealing with all the pit people, and the other one's living right in the heart of the evil empire of the Blacksburg and the Virginia Tech, the Hokies, man, the Hokies. But all great college programs, and it's a cool thing to begin with. So let's get it rocking and rolling. Let's do a couple things. Let's move on from that. We had Dale Sparks. You got Bruce Irvin, and coming up this weekend on Friday night to get his signature. Dale Sparks. Don't forget about him as well. And then you got a 30-year reunion. Neal Brown did not mention in his press conference yesterday, so I think somebody, hey, Big Red, Mike Montoro there, let's get him acknowledged. 30 years, 11-0 team came. There's only been two in the history. This is the 131st year that the Mountaineers are playing. There's only been two 11-0 teams. Just so happens I played and coached on each one of them. Boy, am I blessed, that's for sure. It sure wasn't because of me, I guarantee you that. But I was blessed to be a part of it, man. And watching the 88 and being a part as a team member, and then watching the 93 as a young guy, just got done with the team, but as a coach and watching from the coaching point of view, really some fantastic observations. What I saw was something that was really, really something I'll always take with me for the rest of my life. That's for sure. And let's go ahead and before I go ahead, I want to go ahead and bring up the QR codes. I'm going to get Neal Brown ready to roll. We had his press conference yesterday. I'm going to give you some viewpoints on that. And then, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and break down Nicco Marchiol, and we're going to get it done here. Now, this week, tomorrow, I got a special, another one. I'm going to have, let's go. How about this 93 team? How about Barry Hawkins, nose guard? Oh, big man right there. Boy, you couldn't move him up in the middle. Then you had Timmy Brown, Mr. Linebacker. We had him on the show last week, but he's back. He was team captain on defense there, 93. And then we're going to have, of course, Mike Logan coming in. That's right, Big Logs. Oh, man, he's fantastic. All these guys are fantastic. I mean, do you want to know why they went 11-0? You just saw Chad, and you just saw Zach. And then tomorrow you're going to see, Hawk, and you're going to see Timmy, and you're going to see, hopefully Mike Booth is going to come on tomorrow, hoping for that. And guess who else is coming on? Remember a Puppy Wright from Miami? Yeah, Puppy. Haven't seen him in years, man. He's been down there doing great in Miami, but what a player he was. And we're going to have it all for you tomorrow. So big day tomorrow as well. And we're also going to be bringing in some guys from Texas Tech to talk about Don Williams. He does the Lubbock paper down there. He's the number one covering guy for in Lubbock. He does it for all Texas Tech, Red Raider Nation. So he's got to come on the WolfMan's call. Again, here we go, man. The best guest. We bring it to you right here. So let's go ahead and QR it, man. You see this here? Last battery Power Mini right there. Give yourself QR codes. You got this right here. Yep. United. Purpose withstand Johnny Cantwell. Yep. And you got Artisan Grange, man. Yes, it's just easier for a hemp dipper. Artisan Grange Company. Do it the AGC way. You can get it at wolfmandip.com. You can get it at Parmar stores. And what else we got here? We have this here. You got the Three Wolves of Football is also going to be doing this on YouTube. I'm going to be showing it on there, showing it at Wolfley64. Let's go ahead and bring that up one more time. So go ahead. I want you to go ahead and go on here on YouTube because I need you to sign up. I need you to like and get this baby going right here. So you see it. It's YouTube channel at Wolfley64. And go ahead and you can see it there. Go ahead, sign up, get notified when we go live. The network is on there. The WolfMan's called network. All right, so let's get it rolling here now. And get Neal Brown up, and let's get him ready to go. Let's see, make sure have him lined up. And let's see what he has to say.
Win on Saturday night. Again, I want to thank our fans. I thought the atmosphere was tremendous. I thought that win was really vital for our state university fans. Talked about it after the game. Proud of our team. Didn't play our best, but found a way to win. I think that's a sign of a good football team.
Well, I have to agree with you there. And when you don't play your best, but you win. Now let's not be unrealistic here. Okay, Pitt scored 21 points against Cincinnati. Cincinnati lost to Miami, Ohio. All right, so Pitt had to come way back. It was at Pitt. Pitt is not playing well in offense. Now, I showed you, and I said that to Dale Sparks earlier in the show. I said to Dale Sparks, I said, listen, man, is that offensive line and that pregame, I showed you in the pregame, even the defensive line was not playing well, in my opinion. I did not think that they were juniors and seniors, and I did not think they were jiving well together. I thought that the offense, the tackles especially, their footwork was poor. And you would have seen all of that if you'd watched my breakdown. And then you have to think about the cover 2 data, which I give you in the breakdown, which we had parlay 3, the winner. We had Maryland, Penn State, and somebody else, Syracuse. And we had that set up. But again, is cover 2 data, giving you that information to know that advanced analytics. So I would encourage you all to go ahead, make sure my show is 4 o'clock on Fridays. You want to see breakdown, I show you a film. I go through all the stats of the opposing team, all the stats. And I give you a person like Don Williams who's coming in, and he's going to talk about Texas Tech and where they're good, where they're probably maybe struggling a little bit, and how he thinks that they're going to clash and line up with the Mountaineers and how they're going to attack. So, again, let's go ahead and look at that. And Neal Brown is right. The fans were a big part of the victory. And when you do win, and you don't play your best, well, that is a good sign of a good team.
Start with special teams. We made a 42-yard field goal. Thought that was made it a 2-score game at the time. Thought our kickoff coverage after the penalty that CJ should not have gotten was good. I think we tackled him at the 32. That was really important. We had a 14-yard punt return in the game. Preston did a nice job. He also fielded some position there at the end of the game. We downed a punt at the 1, and then we had a huge play. Malachi Ruffin made a huge play on a tackle where I don't know if I've ever seen that, but I think it was a -11 on a punt return, so that was huge. And tackled him inside the 10. So 2 punts there.
All right. Yeah, let's talk about this because special teams, you've heard Neal Brown talk about special teams all his career. And I think that it's important to recognize that, boy, they really stepped up. And field positioning was a big part of the game last Saturday night, field positioning. And it was great. And special teams can do that for you. It is nice to see an Oliver Straw. Woo! Nice to see you go ahead and do that. Because I think he's a special punter, and the Mountaineers need to maximize that as defense. Like when they went for it on 4th and 4 with Nico's first time in there outside the 40-yard line. I thought that would have been another great time to pin the Pitt Panthers back, but he went for it in 4th and 4. That's his call. That's fine. I didn't agree with it, especially with Nicco just in the first or second series. I'm trying to remember. I think it was the first series that he was in after the injury. But we'll continue on. Victory.
We had two really ignorant penalties in the game. We had one on a late hit on a kickoff return, and the one where CJ took his helmet off.
All right, I'm not going to say much about it, but hey, CJ, keep your helmet on. Don't be that dude. Don't be that representative of the Mountaineers. That's all I'm going to say.
Defensively, I thought the good was obvious. 3 takeaways, three interceptions. We had 2 good returns on those interceptions too, and then Malachi made a really nice play on the last one. Our pass coverage, you always pay attention to yards per attempt. They had 4.0 yards per attempt. It's really good. I thought we got good pressure on the quarterback. Everybody wants to kind of pile on their quarterback, but we had people at his feet. We had people around him all night, and it affected him. And then we were really good on 3rd and 4th down.
Okay. Let me say this. All right. Yes, good. Well, Jerkovic, he went 10 for 32, then 8 for 20. All right. There's a problem there. There's a problem there, right? And most of it, he had people at his feet. Sure, he did, because the offensive line was not playing well. So kudos to the defense. That's good. But I'm going to tell you this. Some of the worst throws, some decisions. I don't know who this cat is. How did he ever make it through 6 years, super senior? I mean, my gosh, if that's who you're bringing in, Pitt, you better take Slovis back. I don't know what happened to him last year, but it didn't work out. But, yeah, all right, I'll credit the defense, yes. But let's not get too cocky, because that was something that I saw Cincinnati destroy. And you would have seen that in the pregame as well. Destroy that offensive line.
We started slow defensively, missed some tackles there early. I thought we misfit some things during the game. And I think during that drive we had 2 misfits, but we had a bunch of missed tackles. We had more missed tackles on that drive than we did the rest of the game combined.
Well, yeah, you sure did. And missed tackles, I think he said that they had a total of 7 and probably 5 on that drive. You got to come out. You got to be ready to go. I think there's 2 misfits that they lined up. So here's the issue that you got to be concerned about. Texas Tech is going to go as fast as they can. They're going to go as fast, and that's when the alignment issues start to come up. That's when you got to worry about that alignment. So, again, I think the game is going to have to be a simple call for the Mountaineers on defense, because they're going to have to be simple, man. They did a lot of cover 3, showing cover 4 and moving over to cover 3. I noticed in the Pitt game, from what I could see in my viewpoint, and I think that they're going to have to do some of that and keep it the same way, maybe show something, disguise, but knowing you can't get too complicated. Can't do it.
And so we got to clean that up. And then we got to clean up some pass rush stuff where we need to finish. We need to finish better at the top of our rushes.
Yeah. I think what he's talking about, he wants sacks, and he wants – he says a lot of people, or he just said it before, he said a lot of the players fall at the quarterback's feet, and he wants to be able to finish that, just like he was talking in camp about running your feet up there and being able to make the tackles. So, yes, I totally understand that as well.
Offensively, good. I thought we controlled the game. I said this afterwards, and we didn't lose it. We didn't do anything offensively to lose the game. Had 10 points off takeaways, ran the ball effectively. Things we got to improve on. Too many negative yards. Took a couple sacks that definitely should not have taken. Pass game's got to be sharper. And then we didn't finish.
Yep. You know what? Listen, let me tell you something. You go ahead and you take a freshman quarterback who was not getting his reps, and then you go ahead and you limit what he could do. I'm telling you, Neal gets into this, but I'm going to say this is that this young cat has got so much ability in him. All he needs to do is someone's got to show him how to be successful. He knows how to be successful at high school level. He's just making that move to college. And I'm telling you, just give him the encouragement. Give him the ability to say, listen, here's what you're looking for. Here's how you do it. Because he has the ability. He's going to go through the process. Not everything is going to be great, folks. It's not going to be all roses and candy and daisies and all that. But there's going to be some things when you watch it, you're going to say, oh my. Wow, did he really just do that? Did he really just have a release like that? He stands in the pocket. He stands in the pocket. Maybe a little bit too long. But you're going to learn. You're going to learn, man. Here we go.
This last week, I want to do it this week. Kind of, our offensive lineman of the week was Zach Frazier. He had 14 knockdowns in the game. And if all you got to do if you want to
14 knockdowns. Wow, interesting.
Turn on the tape and see how somebody's supposed to play. Watch him.
Well, I agree with that. Watch Zach Frazier. I've been saying that for, I think, 4 years now. I can't remember when he got here, but I've been showing his tape back when I was doing the TV, back when I do it now. It doesn't matter. Zach Frazier is a fantastic, best center in the country. I end every show, I think, by saying he's the best center in the country.
Special teams player of the week was Malachi Ruffin. He downed the punt at the 1, and he had a big tackle that I talked about on the punt team as well.
Yeah, that down in the punt. Did you see him get his feet back into the field of play out of the end zone? That was a big move there. That's heady. Heady. I'll tell you, that young man keeps surprising me. He keeps surprising me. I'm not sure I can say all about exactly what I think of him, but he does keep surprising me. All right, so let's keep it rocking and rolling. There you go. Hey, what's up, Joey? There you go, man. Howdy, right to your back, buddy. And we'll keep this moving.
Defensive player of the week was Beanie Bishop. He had an interception, a really nice return, but he had 7 tackles at the corner position. Came up and really tackled well for his position.
All right, Beanie Bishop, 7 tackles. Not sure I'm looking for a defensive corner to have 7 tackles like that, but overall, big deal. Interception, second one, right? From 2 weeks in a row. I'm going to say this. Hey, Beanie, when you get in post game, you might not want to say that you knew that the quarterback was bad at his job. I don't know. Maybe it's just me saying that. All right, here we go. Rocking and rolling.
Offensive player of the week, I talked about the penalty, but I thought he ran the ball the best that he's ran it in his career, especially in the second half. I thought C.J. Donaldson was special in the game. He had 18 rushers for 102 yards and a touchdown, but I thought when he ran and got behind his pads, like he was really good.
C.J. Donaldson, yeah, he was really good, and he is really big, and he is really strong, and he is really tough. And then you go ahead and you take an offensive line, and you look at that offensive line, and you say, all right, these guys are movers, right? And then you take 2 tight ends, in Cole Taylor and Traylon Davis, and they both had some big plays in the game. And then take the wide receivers. So really everybody contributed on offense as well as everybody on defense. Let's not forget that. But everybody on offense contributed with the blocking part because that was such a big part of the game.
And then 2 guys that maybe don't show up on the start. One of them showed up on the stat sheet, one of them doesn't. But we always give those blue collar awards, and O-line and D-line is really where we won the game. And Fatorma played his best game probably of his college career. He had 16 plays, and in those 16, he had 2 tackles and 3 assists, and really got good push up front. And the reason we took him is because of that, and he really made a difference in the game.
All right, so Fatorma gets 16 plays, and he's making a push. You'll like to hear that because he sat out with Penn State last season. And Joey's up there, he's saying he thinks the team's a little better than we thought. We're going to learn a lot more this week. Yeah, you sure will, because I'm going to tell you that, let's be honest, Pitt is not that good of a team. They're not. If Cincinnati didn't prove that, maybe Miami of Ohio did when they beat Cincinnati. I don't know. What I'm saying is I watched some pretty awful stuff on both sides of the ball, but I did see some good WVU stuff. But we will, Joey. You are right. We will find out this week in a better way if this team is real or not at 2-1.
And then Doug Nestor, he had 9 knockdowns in the game, played really, really physical, and he's playing the best football of his career.
14 knockdowns by Zach Frazier, 9 by Doug Nestor. How did we only score 17 points? I mean, honestly, there's a lot of knockdowns. Maybe I should start counting them.
And then, so kind of moving on, Texas Tech. And so you flip the page, Backyard Brawl won that game, kind of flipping over to the next.
All righty. Well, that's all I'm going to do for Neal. I'll leave the Backyard Brawl or for Texas Tech game. I'm going to leave that up for the Friday breakdown. I'm going to say this again. I am not going to call it. I'm going to say West Virginia played their can off. You heard Neal Brown say it was ugly. All right, good teams win ugly games. Yes, they do. And that's a good point that he makes. But I'm going to say this. Don't tell me right now that this team is ready to go this and that until we see it. You got a brand new quarterback, a redshirt freshman quarterback. He's got to work. How is Neal Brown going to call the plays for him? How much leash is he going to give to Nicco Marchiol? I've been saying it since Nicco. RPO Marchiol. Right? RPO Marchiol. And that's what I'm saying right now is you're going to have to, they're going to fill that box and they're going to try to load that box up to stop C.J. Donaldson and that powerful offensive line and those tight ends and even those receivers who did a real good job Saturday night of blocking. So Nicco's really going to have to be able to have the ability to change the play calls. And you heard Neal Brown in the press conference yesterday say that Nicco knows and can handle the RPOs. And I'm going to show you the film right now that shows that. And let's see here. Joey, what do you say there, buddy? See, Texas Tech, I think we're looking ahead to Oregon. When Wyoming beat them, they played Oregon down to the end. This will be a tough game. I think this certainly will be a tough game. And you got was, not we. Get it up there for you, Joey. Very good, buddy. And so let's go ahead now. And let's pull up this Nicco Marchiol film. I'm going to go through it with you. We probably won't get through the whole thing at this time, but we're going to go ahead and show it. If I can go ahead and find it with this here. Right there. Let's see here. Got that. What did I do with that? Okay. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and talk. Does anybody have that they want to say? Well, I try to go ahead and find the film that is in here. I forgot Abby Pearson. Let's go ahead and play her real quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and look for that as well. So let's go, Abby.
Hi, I'm Abby Pearson from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and when I'm back home, you will find me at my local Par-Mar store.
We had that gold and blue pride at your local Par-Mar store.
Oh, wait a second. I screwed that one up there. Abby, let's go back to Abby, but I did find this here. So we'll get that. Let me get this up. All right. I screwed up. I got Nicco Marchiol here. Let's just jump into it and we'll go ahead and do that, Abby, a little bit later if we can. So let's go ahead. Let's jump over here. Let's get this up. Nicco Marchiol film. Let's get excited now. You have a youngin'. First of all, I got Garrett Green in here because I want to show the first couple of plays. I think that they actually had a nice game plan. Started off with Garrett in there, and you look at here, he's under center, and they're going with the fly sweep right there, man. Very nice. I like attacking the perimeter. You can see, look at those DBs right off the bat, man. They're challenging the receivers. And that's what's going to happen, too, I think you'll see with Texas Tech a lot, because they don't think that our receivers can get off of man coverage. And they want to put the pressure there, even if they are bailing a little bit. But here you go. You can see it here. And you get Jalen right there. Nice game. It's a 5-yarder. We're going to go through this fairly quicker. Look at Cole Taylor out there blocking I liked how he blocked the game. I heard that, what is that, Pro Football Focus graded him down in his run blocking. And I'm here to tell you, I disagree. And I'm going to tell you the truth all the time. Cole Taylor was just about at every point of attack. And Traylon Davis did a good job as well in that 12 personnel package. Now, you see this here. I said before this game, and I told Kevin Koch in the pregame this, and maybe he told me, I don't even know. But I said that 10 targets needs to go to Cole Taylor. And I said targeting. Okay, I'm not saying he's going to get it every time, but 10. But I'm telling you right now, with Nicco being here, Cole is your most trustworthy receiver. I'm talking about catching the ball right now. Okay, he's the one that has been hanging on to the ball. He's 6'7". He's easy, really, for both quarterbacks to see in the first 2 games. All right, or first 3 games now. Excuse me. So he's good to see at 6'7". He's dependable, and once he does make the reception, he's what? He's special in the secondary because he's so darn big. But let's just say this too, okay? Let me just put this out there. I want to see Neal Brown. I would like to see Neal Brown make Cole Taylor a household name in Mountaineer Nation. I would like to see Cole Taylor be a Big 12 something tight end. All right? That's what I'm talking about. And how do you do that? You got to target him, man. And because right now Nicco could use a good friend. Not just CJ, not just Jalen there, not just Jermaine, to hand the ball off. A friend out there when there's a hot read, when you can go ahead and do things with him. You can go ahead and do the visuals, the spot checks. You can go ahead. You could even send that guy. You could do a tight end screen. We've seen it. They've been using him. You need to highlight this tight end. It's so essential right now, in my opinion, that Nicco has a good buddy out there that he knows he can throw to, and easier to hit than most because he's 6'7" and he's consistent. Let's just go ahead and see this right here. Garrett Green, I like this. See, remember I talked about moving the pocket. Did you ever see this type of play against Penn State? Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't. But this is what I'm saying. Move the pocket. Use what Garrett does best, his strength. You heard Neal Brown say his legs. I'm telling you, if his legs were his best strength, why was he in the pocket at Penn State? Why? That's what I'm talking about is, I sit here and I talk this and I talk about it and I keep telling, this is what I'm talking about. This is it. You go ahead, you make it right there. All right? He got to bat it down, but the play call was good. All he had to do was avoid the defender. I like the diamond shape in the backfield. Like the attack. I liked everything about that. Good job. Good job. That's what I want to see. Here, again, he drops back. All right. Now he's looking. Where's he throwing? I don't know where he's throwing. I know the receiver fell down, but even still, I don't know. I didn't see him one time look for anywhere else through his progression. He went right there. So, again, working on that, I think, is necessary. Boy, I hate it when he got hurt, man. I really did, because I thought he was ready to go. I thought he was inspired, and I was sad. I was really sad for him that he got. So I do like the pulling that they've been putting in, and the play calling, the counters that they've been running. Now this is the first series or second series right here, or first, excuse me, not second, right? But look at that push there by the offensive line. I like that. That tells me that they're in the game. They're in the game and they're pushing and they're hungry and they want to fight. Look at this. You see Big Brandon Yates pulling, and you got TD Traylon Davis going. Now there comes the line. Bush, 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 bush. All right, very good job. I saw Wyatt by them. Maybe that's one of the knockdowns. There you go. All right, very good. And again, we're going to watch one more time, I guess. I like this push here. And C.J. Donaldson, what does he do? He keeps grinding and he keeps moving his feet. Everybody, there's like 4 yards there. Great indication. Great indication. Look at this defense. Look at those DBs up on those receivers. Tell us, we're going to go ahead and we're going to man up. We're going to make you go ahead and we're going to have what? All these guys in the box. And now that they empty the box, you're going to blitz. You can see this coming in. Pressure. They pick up the pressure. Oh, boy, here's the problem right there. Okay, you missed that. It hurts. I understand. And this is not good. Garrett Green, I am sorry for you, young brother. I wish and hope that you get better really fast, and because this team's going to need you. It's going to need you. And with that being said, Nico's going to step in after this play. Garrett Green trying to suck it up, and it just wasn't there. Look at the block here by the offensive line. 3rd and 3 now. I only did one there because of the situation here. Let's just go back just a little bit. Okay, we'll go by here. Garrett getting hurt. And watch this here, though. I think this is important. Oh, it's the play. Son of a. There you go. One more time, and we'll get through it. We'll see it. All right, there you go. Right up the middle. Check this out. It's pulling again. All right, and they're coming up and coming. Look at this. 3rd and 3, man. Taking it to this Pitt defense. These are all juniors and seniors, right? All right, impressive. Impressive. And then now it comes Nicco Marchiol. First play in, you're looking at the pistol look. You got 2-by-2 formation. You got 2 receivers in the boundary. You got the tight end and a 1-by-1 hip. And then you have an X up top or the Z on the line of scrimmage. Right there. Look at this run. All right, get it going, CJ. Not bad. I thought he could have made a different cut there, but not bad. Look at here, the offensive line. All right, see this? You see Cole Taylor right there blocking. It looks like he's blocking out 2 of them. CJ, I thought he was going to cut up there, but again, there is a defender pursuing, so he's going to go to the outside. Good job there. Good job blocking. That's positive yards, 3 yards. Not bad. I thought they could have 4 or 5 right there, but now you have 2nd and 7, and you're looking here. You got the tight end on the edge of the line. You got a gun strong to the field and to the strength of the formation, and look what you got here. Again, Nico's going to carry the ball. Now, let's take a look at this. Now, what kind of shot is this for Nicco? What does he see here? He sees that's a good call right here. He pulls it, right? What happens, though, is they got a guy coming over the top. So you see him, the first guy taking that. That's a good call. That's his read. And, they got stuck. They made a good call here, bringing the other guy out. And that's good play, Pitt. Good call, Pitt. But that's not a bad play, Nicco. Not a bad play, Nicco. That's his read right there. He did what he's supposed to do. So I can't blame him. All right. And maybe he could try to make him miss a tackle, but that's pretty tough right there. All right. So now you're looking at trips here to one side, 3rd and 7. What do we got? He's got to go deep. Wow. Look, did you see that? Now that flag was thrown right before Nicco was thrown. Watch his throw here. 1, 2, 3. Now, watch his feet. Watch his head. Watch his release. All right. This is what I'm saying. This young cat, this guy, Nicco Marchiol, all right, this young man can throw the ball. I disagree with what Neal Brown said when he said he didn't throw the ball well downfield. I see some good throws. This throw wasn't a bad throw at all. He got held. As the ref is going to throw it. Watch where the flag comes up. Okay, he releases it right here. Now you take another second. There's the flag coming up on there. It's already been thrown. All right, the ball's still way up in the middle of progression here and air. So that holding's been going on for a while. But look at the shot. Now that was a 1.5 yard outside shoulder. That is not a badly thrown deep ball. There was one that I can understand where Neal was coming, but he said he didn't throw. I disagree. That is a decent thrown ball. I'll bring Chad Johnston back and have him tell you what he thinks on it if you don't believe me. That's not a bad ball. Again, let's take a look at this defense. They're giving you tight pressure on the receivers, the outside. All right, you're looking here at, it looks probably a cover 4, quarter. Let's see what happens here. Up, they're going to cover 3. You can see that the safety to the boundary is going over top. So they're going to take it to 3, or it's man free. And I'm going to say right here, and that's just cover 3. Disguising 4, going to 3. And you have that right there. And you can see the hole and all that. That's not a badly thrown ball at all. In fact, that inside defender would not have been able to get that ball. I don't care what you say. All right, 1st and 10 right now. It's the penalty. You got trips here. It looks like you're going a little bunch, loose bunch as it is. Jaheim Wetby's going to go in motion. Looks like back into the pocket, and you can see Nicco again. Throw him. Now, you could say this might be a poorly thrown ball, but you can see here where Preston Fox does get caught up. And if this would be, you want to say a negative, all right. Well, I like the fact that Preston Fox is caught up and he didn't throw the ball. Okay? And that makes sense. If this is a timing route right here, if he was throwing on timing, he'd be ready to release that ball. Preston has to skin over top, and not the best thrown ball. But if Preston Fox had a better release, would that have been a good thrown ball? I'll just leave it at that. I'm not here. I'm going to tell you when Nicco's wrong. He's wrong. I'm not sure. I'm just going to say not positive of that, because that is tough. That's what happens when you don't work with your receiver and quarterback. You're only getting 25% of the reps, right? So hopefully that gets worked better this week when he's getting all those reps. Now let's go ahead and take a look. And when you're seeing this right here, boy, I like this. Oh, now again, do you see this gun? Do you see this cannon? Watch here. There you go. Snap the ball. There you go, ZF. 1001, 1002, 1003. He is going up and he is firing that ball. He's got some strength. Again, we're talking about a redshirt freshman here. That's not bad. And I don't think that's terrible. I'm not sure if the receiver could have lead it, but all right, let's say that's 50-50 right there on both of them. But boy, I like his cannon. Do you see that? That's a quick release. That is a quick throw. And it looks pretty good. That was EJ Horn. Good to see him in the mix too as well. And again, we're going ahead and you're looking at the same thing. We're going slow-mo here. I like it. Look at his feet. Look at his feet. And when he gets it, he's winding it and he's going. Release. It's a good spiral, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna get there. It's gonna be something. Give him time to work with some receivers here. Let's see what he can do. Neal Brown, open up the playbook at very minimal. Open up the RPOs. All right. I think that would be something special. RPO with Marchiol. And I'm going to just keep saying it too. Again, he hands it off there. All right, so you got to get positive yards. Again, look at everybody up there. Clements, yep, everybody's up there. Everybody wants a piece. I'm saying is, yep. I think, see, that's tough. See, look at the way that defensive end is playing that. So that's a tough read for Nicco. He showed his face, and then he was going inside. Tough. That's not a bad play there. He meshes. That's called playing the mesh well by that defender from Pitt. And listen, here's the deal, the quarterback. If you think that it's in question, if it's questionable, you give the ball to the back. That's what the coaches tell you. If you think it's questionable, you give it right there. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so that's not bad. 3rd and 10. And he's going to give it right there. And right now, I'm going to say this here, man, is even though it's the same play, it's 3rd and 10. I think you got to open that up a little bit. Maybe, do the screen. I forgot about it. I wanted to show the screen on that to the outside. Maybe Nicco had the opportunity. Maybe he didn't do the right decision there on 3rd and 10. But we're looking there again. Take a look at these corners. They are up on these receivers. Boy, how cool would an X screen right there be with him coming out and blocking him and him coming around, right? That's just an X right there slip. slip screen. Then you got to deal with him, but you're still looking. There are things you can do here. When I say RPO, how about just a 3-yard hitch here? Do something like that. Just free junkyards, man. Just rush it. All it is just a visual and to look at it here. And what's Nicco doing right there? All right, so he's trying to throw. All right, now I said to you, target Cole Taylor. I mean it. I don't care about that. That's cool. It didn't work out. This is the 4th and 4. I think it would have been nice if the 40-yard line, if you would have tried to punt that ball. I mean, that's a questionable decision. I understand. But it's first drive. I don't know if I'm trying to do that. But I do like the fact that he's trying to target him here. And where is he looking? He's looking straight at him. Nicco, that's your read right there. I like the fact that he stood in the pocket. He's not running outside the pocket. And it helps when the offensive line is doing a good job of blocking and not forcing you to run outside the pocket as well. So they do correlate and play hand in hand. And continue on. This is the same play, 4th and 4. I see good blocking here. I see everything is good. Boy, I tell you, I would have liked to see the back end here. No, we're not seeing the back end. All right, so looking at this here. Look at that drive. I guess that's a Zach Frazier, one of his 14 knockdowns right there. And you see it's 2x2 here. And you got misdirection. Now, do you see that right there? Oh, this is a nifty play. I haven't really seen Neal do this very much. If I can remember him doing it all. Watch here again. As you see, this is cool, man. Oh, you know what? I didn't put it in on that one. That's going to have to be. The tight end the guard came around. The tight end went in. All right, so you got 2 misdirection keys going on. And then the tight end followed the guard up. Total misdirection counter. That's what it is, coming from the other side. That's smart. That's like doing some things like you see the Kansas Jayhawks I talk about all the time doing. That's pretty good. And then you see here, this is control. Look at the blocking down the line. Boy, I tell you what, man, they put the tight ends right there, always pulling, always leading. It was a tough night for those 2 tight ends in the run blocking scheme because they had to perform and they had to be at the point of attack. No doubt about it. You see the offense right here. And there you go, pulling again. Look at that. Cole Taylor right there. He gets the piece that goes, what is that? It gets 6 yards? It goes 6 yards here. Again, let's take a look. Look and tell me. That's a good block right there. He takes him. He doesn't move him, but that's a tight end that's having to pull against a DN that's anchoring in. That's a heck of a block. Now, Nicco, I don't know, man, because you pulled the ball here. Not sure what the question is, but maybe there would be an opportunity to do a little bit of read zone on that and see. You got to test it, right? You got to test it. And he did the one time. I know that. And again, I see some arms outstretched. Look at this. Look at this here. Look at Wyatt Milam, the left tackle here. You see him right there. That's a good job. Good job. That's sealing right there. He's not getting in there. He's not going to. That's 6 yards. Now, that's tough. There's 7 guys in the box. Pitt was loaded up. I've told you time and time again, you have to be able to run, not just when the numbers dictate it. You can't just RPO everything. It's not a situation all the time you can RPO it. Sometimes you actually have to run in a box when the numbers are not in your favor. And that was one of them right there. Whether they're even, whatever it might be. Again, you see the pistol look. And here he goes, CJ, running down. Look at that. Look at the offensive line right there. The offensive line running down the field with their blocks. Not just running down the field. They maintained that connection with the blocks, meaning is they kept their feet and they were running. Yeah, watch that. Do you see what I'm talking about here? Watch the left tackle here. Here we go. He's moving. Right? Watch Tomas Rimac, the left guard right here, right? Oh, is he running with him? Yeah, he's running. He holds him just enough to get off, right? Now look at it. You got Cortez Bram, number 11. He's blocking. You heard Neal Brown in the press conference say he's had his best night of blocking. And then you go ahead and you look at this here. Wyatt Milam blocking downfield. And who's that right there, block? Preston Fox. Woo. Out of breath, baby. I'm out of breath just calling it because they're all running downfield, smacking around. Again, you'll see this here backside, but watch this. This is beautiful. This is almost like poetry in motion, right? Picking up your blocks, picking up all those white shirts and those ugly Pitt helmets. Yeah, you heard me. Ugly Pitt. I agree. Now coming back, look at this with the tight ends coming back the other way. They just kept leading him and leading him and leading him. And Terrell Davis as well, or Traylon Davis. I said Terrell, excuse me. And you see the block there, number 6, Cole Taylor, block it out. He had point of attack. That's asking a lot on a tight end. Boy, you think Cole Taylor, you thought he was just a pretty boy. Just thought he was a receiver, right? No, look at that, man. He's got it going on. Very good, very good. I like it. Let's keep it moving, keep it moving. Jump, jump, jump. There you go. Nico's handing off here. Yep, that's a good job handing off because 23 was right there on the read. And he gets in there. Look at that. Running hard. Offensive line. Pushing and fighting, man. Pushing and fighting. You got to like it. Got to like it. Watch the read. Now you're pulling out the guard. All right, you got big old Thomas Remack. Tomas, right? And then you got Cole Taylor. Look at this. Cole Taylor fights it because sometimes when you're pulling like that, depending on the position of the defender, are you kicking out if he's outside or you're hooking? Okay? You're hooking because he's on the inside. So you have to judge when you're pulling. And I did it all the time as an offensive lineman. Either I had to kick out or hook or just go straight up. And right here you see his great job of them pulling, not kicking out, more hooking right there. Again, big time positive yards. And they loaded the box, man. This is forcing your will. This offensive line, and I'm saying tight ends, is forcing their will on this Pitt box team. This full of juniors and seniors and kicking their can, to be quite honest with you. All right, when they did it, and they want to load up. Again, look what you got here. It's 3rd and 5. You know, they get actually stuffed this year. Now, what did I see here? Looking at Nicco, was this an opportunity for him? It was an opportunity for him to pull the ball. I thought, again, 3rd and 5. What I'd like to see maybe RPO at that. That's where I think he's going to have, and that's why I put that in there. I think he's got to have to make at a 3rd and 5 like that call, instead of just going with a handoff or even with the read after that, that he's going to have to go ahead and be able to roll that ball and have success. There's 7 guys in the box. Look at the safeties. I mean, they're all down there, man. That's tough. That's tough to do it time in and time again against a Power 5 defense, especially, as I keep saying, juniors and seniors. What do we got here? It's 1st and 10, 8:57 the second quarter. All right, this is the sack right here. I'm counting. He's hanging on the ball too long. There's no doubt about it. It looks to me, again, as what are they doing here secondary-wise? All right, it's cover 4, and you're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a delayed blitz by 23. He's coming in. He's just really red dogging it right there because he was covering the back. So, Nicco, you gotta get that ball off. Got to find a way. This is a nice play here, Cole Taylor. Target the man. Look at it. It's so easy just to go ahead and target. You can't do it every single play. I know that, but you can go ahead and target it right there, man. And there he is, rumbling and bumbling and stumbling. Right? Come on, man. You can't pull him down in the secondary. He's too darn big, and he's athletic. And give him the rock. You know why you give him the rock? Because he's doing this. He's taking it, and he's catching it when he's supposed to, but he's also going ahead and blocking. All that is just supposed to be a play action for what they've been running, pulling the tight end, and and going ahead, and that's a nice one-handed catch. He gets it. He's got skill. He puts it down. I understand. Yeah, tuck that ball up there, and not bad. All right, not bad. Okay, that's easy. That helps your quarterback out. Let Cole Taylor become a household name so that Nicco Marchiol can benefit. All right, because if Cole Taylor becomes a household name for catching the ball, that means that Nicco's doing some good stuff. And that means that the Mountaineer offense is moving the ball. 1 + 1 + 1. And 3rd and 4. Again, watch this here. Now, you just gave Cole Taylor the ball, and he did a nice job, right? Did a nice job. But here he is making another block here downfield, and you see the receiver out here blocking, and he kind of ran into him, but again, I like this. Watch Cole Taylor. This is a point of attack. And look at the left side of the line. Right there, you see Wyatt Milan is going to go out. He's going to do it. He kicks him out. He kicks him out because that's where the defender wants to go. What does Thomas Remack do? He hooks him. Well, what in the world? Now look at this right here. You got this here for a blocker, and you got up here for a blocker, and now you got Cole Taylor coming through, and you're in really, really good shape. And 32 was not fast enough to get in there. And Jalen Anderson was fast enough to get by. Pick up those feet, pick up those knees. Look at this blocking downfield. You see Cole Taylor just help it out with Preston Fox. If there's no one else to hit there, go help your buddy out, man. You could go high-fiving each other. I remember high-fiving Jeff Price many times. And Price, you were coking, man. High-five him, saying, yeah, that was a good block. Again, watch what the offensive line does. Wyatt Milam is going to kick out. Thomas Remack, look at him and Frazier on this combo block up. But look what the defense does. Do you see how that defender went ahead and they were playing a game? This is 1st and 10, right? Why would you go with a pass game on this? It leaves this hole. The whole C gap is gone. Oh, man, I should be a defensive coordinator. You know what? If you go ahead, you pay me that kind of money, I'll come back on. I'll coach the defense coordinator. I'll at least make sure the gaps are covered. I'll make sure of that. Yeah, right on Pitt. Go Pitt. Yeah, that's why you suck. There you go. Keep going on up. Offensive line, instilling their will. What is Nicco doing right here? He's handing the ball off. All right, he's controlling the game. He's checking. Again, I would like to see possibilities of some RPOs. What do we got going on here? All right, is he giving you a little bit here? All you got to do is what? A 5-yard hitch, and then you're going to fall forward 5 yards, right? Yeah, I think there's possibility. Right there is not bad. Freebies, but you're running the ball. I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying is the options are there. He has to be able to have those options. Okay. Oh, again, there's that play running again. As you see the tight end coming back, I really thought that was. See that right there? You see the Cole Taylor. He's coming on the inside. Watch the guard coming across. It's the same play, except that they line up instead of them both lining up on the left side over here. You see the tight end here. So right here, you see him come through. And then this, I've never seen Neal Brown do this. Never that I can recall. And again, making the blocks, getting positive yards. Not the greatest, but that is a cool thing. Look at the tight end. Look at that. As misdirection. That is Kansas Jayhawk material. I'm telling you, right off the bat. Oh, yeah. Where are we at? We're at 6:29 here to go in the second half. We're almost out of time. You know what? Maybe I'll save some for tomorrow. Yeah, let's go. One more play here. Ooh, they're with. Oh, yeah, I want to get this one. RPO here, baby. Yeah, now watch Cole Taylor. Now, this is the one where I thought, man, he whiffed. He whiffed. But look at this. What are you throwing here? You're seeing this? You're watching the play right here. Is it going to be a handoff, or is this a run game? Because it looks like the offensive line is trying to make a run game. So that means RPO, run pass option. Marchiol with the RPO right here. Here you have it right there. That is what we're talking about. You have to be able to do it. He has to recognize it. Look at the shell right here, the safety. It's open. He's saying, listen, right here. If this guy does not come here and cover out here, right, then, and he's coming here, well, then that means that this guy is open. And that's exactly what happens. That is fantastic. And fire the ball. And where's the ball go? It goes right in his hands. Right in his hands. Accurate throw. He can see right there. He makes the pocket. Watch the end zone shot of here, right? We got this. Here we go. Look at this. Look at the vision here. Now, look at the vision. All right. They're running the ball. And here we go. He's even got a couple of guys right there, but he says, you know what? That's wide open. Look at that throw. That's a missile. Good catch, man. That's a tight ball right there. That's a tight ball. And what a read. If you can do it once, you can do it twice. You can do it more than twice. That's what I'm talking about. And he hands the ball up here. And with that, I'm going to call this quits right here. All right. So let's see. Do we got anybody out here saying anything here? Let me see. All right. Timothy Green, Wolfman, I have a question. All right. Question time. Let's see. Do you think we can move the football down the field against Texas Tech? Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. But you got to be smart, right? I think that they're going to really – I mean, Pitt played 7 in the box, man. And they were going to cover 4 a lot. They were going up and they were pressing on their outside receivers. And they were daring to say, listen, man, you know, Nicco, you got to be – they ran the ball. They ran the ball. That was a great RPO. Can you do it? If you can do it once, you can do it twice. You can do it more because you see that because you're getting the reps and you're in the game. And I don't care about how old you are or young, what your experience are. You've done it once and you've seen it. And against this. So, yes, they can move the football field. Again, I think there are times when the Mountaineers are going to have to be able to run the ball when the numbers are not in their favor. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, we have to see. Does that mean that they're going to attack the middle or like how they attack the outside? There was 7 in the box in the middle, right? But what did they do? They attacked the edges there. That you saw that. So that made it difficult because it was outside the box where you attack. So I thought it was a brilliant game plan for the running there and for what they did. So, yeah, I do believe they can. You got to be smart. You got to do it right. Any other questions? Anyone? Anyone else? All right, let's go right here. We're going to finish this tomorrow with Nicco. We finish it tomorrow, I promise you. And we'll go ahead. Let's go right to this here. That, and we'll go right here to the network. Now, I didn't do the network yesterday, and that was my fault because ran out of time and wanted to get going, and we had the one issue there. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and get this and get it on up here to the network. And again, let's remember now, right? Let's remember here that we're now at WolfMan's Call is on the YouTube channel, the WolfMan's Call at Wolfley64 or at WolfMan's Call. All right. So here we go. Archies right there on East Carson Street in Pittsburgh. You got to love their wings. Appreciate that being part of the network. Route 22 Sports Bar. Yeah, man, bottoms up draft system. They got 12 50-inch screen TVs. You know, they were all watching the Steelers there last night. Must have been pretty cool. Calacino's down there in Beckley at Pizzeria and Sports Bar. And you got Cantrell's River City Grill and Pub. And shout out to you guys and down by the river. I can't wait till I can come down there and enjoy that view that you guys had there and all the great seafood that I see there. And Legend Sports Bar and Grill, Aaron Gizzy up there at Lakeview Cheat Lake, and Danny's down there in Princeton, West Virginia. Can't wait to come down there. I want to be able to come down to the bottom of the state there at Princeton and Bluefield, and haven't really been able to make that trip thus far. Kegler Sports Bar and Grill. We know that, you know, you got the Bruce Urban signing with the Dale Sparks collection this Friday from 6 to 8, Kegler's Clubhouse, you know, with Jerry Lorenz there. And then you have Jimbo's place there and Buckhannon, and in Elkins. So nice they did it twice. Jimmy Pointer, Brickside Bar and Grille, Rob Davis. Eat local, over 30 beers on tap. You got the Pitch down there in Dunbar, Pitch, West Virginia restaurant. Man, I tell you, some of the food, boy, and the prime rib I see there, wow. And then, of course, you have the Mason Jar Barbecue and, well, not at the barbecue, the Mason Jar. Let me make sure I get that right. And barbecue and more. It's not it's the Jar Restaurant and Hot Spot now in Morgantown. Steve Reese, the Mason Jar Barbecue and more. Shout out Steve Reese, man. Boy, I saw that food you were cooking for the game, the tailgates, man. Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable. And don't forget about the Pallet Bar there. Haley, what's up? Appreciate you down there. The Tap House with Melissa, Mel. Yep, all is good. I think that's everybody there. So I thank you for the WolfMan's Call Network. We appreciate you with all I got, man. I really do. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate everybody trying to help out and really move this show. We got some cool things coming. We got some big announcements to make here coming up in the future. And I am pretty fired up about where this show is headed to. That's for sure. And I think when you think about Zach Frazier, and it looks like he had 14 knockdowns, offensive champion. Well, he's coming through. He's playing well for his hometown, Fairmont, for his home state, West Virginia, for his family. And as I say, Doug Nestor for his family there, for his hometown in West Virginia in the state, and having his best game. Congratulations, Doug Nestor. And again, Thomas Remock firing it up. Brandon Yates. So far, man, 2-1, 3 games. Yeah, I'm giving you a great effort, man, and moving. Happy to see you there in the mix. And obviously, Tomas and Wyatt Milam. Wyatt, I mean, I don't know why you changed your number to 74, Wyatt. I don't know why. 64 was my number. That was a cool number. I don't know why you changed it. But I thought 64 was good, but you're going to be good no matter what you do, and that's all that matters. So do we have anything for the good of the cause, my friends? We will finish with Nicco, but listen, I'm going to tell you, the young man is not perfect, all right? The young man is going to make a mistake or two, maybe even 3, but you got to empower him to feel solid about his choices and decisions, and saying, listen, you go ahead and make that call. We believe in you, Nicco. We believe in you, because if you show that you believe in him, that's going to help him. That helps a young buck out. Show him you believe in him and tell him that you think he will get that job done. But you better believe in it. You better know it. Because when you don't sit there and if you're a fake, the players know. Make sure you believe that he can get it done. Cole Taylor, I want to see him become a household name in West Virginia, because that happens, then the Mountaineers are moving it. And CJ Dowson, you already are a household name. And, Jalen, you too, man. You're running out. Again, offensive line, Traylon Davis, man, you did some good stuff there, young buck. I like it, man. I like, Cortez Bryant, all right, man. Go ahead. Keep blocking it hard. Preston Fox, all of you, keep going hard and blocking hard and doing exactly what you have to do to win. You didn't get a lot of receptions, but you sure did make a difference blocking downfield. And that being said, nobody else is saying anything. I appreciate you. God bless you, man.
Hi, I'm Zach Frazier from Fairmont. And when I'm back home, you'll find me at my local Parmar store.
We had that gold and blue pride at your local Parmar store. We are coming to your neighborhood soon. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, we have you covered. Download the Parmar app and sign up for the Parmar Rewards Card. Food, gas, groceries, and more, we are gold and blue proud, and we are Parmar stores.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Buzzballs, ready to drink cocktails. #1 single-serve premix brand in the U.S. Buzzballs. Have a ball. Stationers, #1 office supplier in West Virginia. Always in stock. Call Mini, the anywhere, anytime chargers, powering a connected world. Never buy AA batteries again. Rechargeable 500 times plus. Call Mini AA USB lithium battery, as easy to charge as your cell phone. Sustainable energy. Stay charged. Go green, save green. Feel the power of Paw. Order now at pawmini.com.
West Virginia United.